humble YouTube family. What's good? What's happening? Good morning. Good Saturday. Good day to you all. Good evening. If you're on Europe side, Australia, wherever. Hello. Um, I'm on here. Things kind of changed a little bit today, or actually on this episode. I don't even know how to begin because normally I have a routine in which I do it, but I didn't think that routine was appropriate. First off, um, shout out to you guys. I'd like to say again, good morning and everything else. I can't read the comments right now because I'm on the road doing this right now. So bear with me, please. But again, first off, I didn't think that Silver Sides motherfuckers was necessary for this because Silver Sides is basically the battle cry for the USS Jacksonville. We're not talking about the USS Jacksonville today, pennant number 699, submarine, the mighty Silver Sides, the mighty Jacksonville. We're not talking about the Jacks today. Um, I wanted to talk on honoring the fallen sailors, Marines, and civilians aboard the USS Liberty. Okay. The USS Liberty was a SIGINT boat, signals intelligence boat, christened by the NSA and the US Navy to go out and patrol waters. And basically, they're a set of floating ears, right? Floating antenna with a bunch of very capable, highly capable sailors, Marines, uh, intelligence, civilians, right? And they went out to do missions. Uh, if you're not familiar with it, I'll give you a quick rundown and then I'll just give you my take on it. I'm not going to be too long today, but I thought it was necessary to honor these guys. So one of their missions was during the Six-Day War in Israel or outside of Israel, right above the Sinai Peninsula in the Eastern Med. And basically, this was during the Six-Day War, June 8th, 1967. So roughly 50, not even roughly, exactly 58 years to the day, right? That this incident went down. Hopefully, my math is correct. It should be that this incident went down. Uh, and what ended up happening was they must have picked up some communications between whomever, right? I'm not going to go into full detail, but they picked up some stuff that a certain country did not want them to hear, and then they were subsequently attacked. And during that attack, it wasn't Egypt that caused the attack. It wasn't the Syrians, the Jordanians. It was Israel that attacked them. It was Israel. And so I'm saying all that to basically uh, let me just finish up. Let me finish up. So they started off with I think it was a couple of mirages, right? Strafed the boat, killed 34 sailors, wounded roughly 172 sailors, Marines, and civilians. Excuse me, roughly 172. Many men obviously scarred that did survive, scarred both physically and mentally, emotionally, and everything else. And justice, they never ever got justice for all the lives lost and all the men wounded and scarred. They never, not once, had their day in court. Not once. Um, there's more. If you want to read more of the story, I highly recommend getting with a gentleman by the name of Phil Torney. He wrote a book called What I Saw That Day, right? Basically, his details on the attack of the USS Liberty. And another one is The Attack on the USS Liberty. I forget. Scott something. I forget. Both good books. And definitely worth the read. Now, the reason I'm talking about that is because, of course, 58 years to the day, I don't feel that these guys get their day in the sun enough. Um, and to me, obviously, a lot of you guys that do know me, I'm a retired sailor. And though I have my views and my opinions, I served the best Navy in the world, I feel. And I would never take a day back of my service to this country. Never take a day back. No. And I think what people need to realize is when you serve the country, you're not just serving the country, but it's your neighbors, it's your doctor, it's your barber. You know, it's not just a bunch of people you don't know. They're those people, right? That that cut your hair, that took care of your kids, and everything else. You're serving them when you serve in the military. So whether people want to say that we haven't done the best thing to much of the world or not, um, and I'm in that camp too. That I feel that sometimes we just don't do right by other countries. I feel that I did an honorable service to this country, and for those of you guys that out there that did serve this country, or you have a loved one that served the country or paid the ultimate price and might have lost his or her life serving this country, I salute you and thank you. And I thank you guys for your service, and I thank them for their sacrifice and their service as well. Now, back to the guys in the USS Liberty. Uh, Again, 34 sailors, Marines, and civilians dead, and they're never coming back. Never, not once did they have their day in court. Not once did they let those sailors speak on a panel or anything like that to to give their voice as to what happened that day. They got to speak in front of an admiral. The admiral told them that if they were to speak of that it's not even an incident, it's a massacre. Okay, it's also in the wording. They like calling it an incident. It was a fucking massacre. That thing. I do my best to not get too emotional about it because even though that wasn't me, that wasn't my family, those weren't my friends. It makes me think, what if that was me, right? Or what if that was my family? You know, I've had family serve in the services, my cousins, my dad, my brother, and many other people that I'm close with. So, how would I feel? How would you feel if something like that massacre that occurred on June 8th, 1967, how would that make you feel as a person? Knowing that they lost their lives, you thinking, wow, they were in a battle, something bad may have happened, but all in all, it was your ally, your quote unquote ally that actually did the deed. They did you in, they killed you, they harmed you. I don't know how that would make you feel, but that would make me pretty upset, and I'd be crying out for justice. I'd want blood and I'd want revenge. I know that's me. That's me. Maybe that's not you. Some people would say forgive, um, but I'm saying justice. We've never gotten justice. It was that country in the Eastern Med, Israel, that did it, and of course, their thing was let's pay the family a little stipend. So to them, paying a little bit of money erases it. Uh, and for the government to not, our U.S. government to mistreat those men that sacrificed their lives on that fateful day, to tell them if they open their mouths, they're subject to a fine and imprisonment. That's dishonor at the highest degree. A lot of these politicians never served a day in their fucking life. They never want their kids to serve or their kin, none of that, right? But they're ready to send our best and brightest and our finest into the meat grinder at all times. Me, I did it without hesitation. I didn't have a problem doing it, right? And committing my life for this country. My brother as well, and my dad as well. Um, but when you have these people sending us out into the meat grinder, and then to turn around and tell us that what we saw isn't what we saw, what we did isn't what we did, what we experienced isn't what we experienced, dishonor in the highest degree. Um, I feel that much of that element still remains in our government, in the upper brass, and it's so unfortunate because we still have our best and our brightest out there doing work that nobody else wants to do, living in conditions no one else wants to live in, all for the service of this country, right? Also, that our neighbors could live a halfway decent life. Yeah. So I don't even think that I can really commit any proper words. All I could do is the best I can do is, I guess, just honor these men, honor the sailors, honor the Marines and civilians that committed their life to doing what nobody wanted to do, right? But it's just a mere fact that they never received justice. And so I think that more people need to talk about it. I think more people need to bring it up, and people need to be held accountable, like properly held accountable. And I think some kind of some kind of reparation is in order for these people. I don't know what it would be. I don't know what. But every time what I'm being told is that every time these sailors and Marines and civilians get together for a 50-year anniversary, or not 50, excuse me, for their anniversary, because ships, right, or people that have been on ships and that have been part of the crew, they typically go for like an anniversary. Like I came from my ship anniversary. I forget how many years it was, but I came from that last year, right? And that was on the mighty, mighty USS Emory S. Land of Opportunity, AS-39. We got together out in Texas, me and a couple of my shipmates, and we did it big. We enjoyed each other's company. But theirs is more akin to attending a funeral, they said. There wasn't much celebrating. It's usually quiet, but they need that to heal. Um, I understand. I totally understand. Nobody's lived through something like that, and nobody could know what it feels like unless you've lived it. And again, I all I could do is salute and honor them in the best way possible. Uh, Continue to spread their story and honor their memory. That's the best I can do. And I just feel, I just don't. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right because it's almost as if me speaking on their behalf is like a, I don't know if you would say a travesty, but I don't know empty if empty is the word, but it just feels like it's not enough. It feels like it's not enough. I just wish there were more people that would speak on this. I wish there were more people, bigger voices, powerful voices that would speak on this so that justice would be served. How is justice served in this situation? I have no idea. I don't know how these families, if they'll ever be healed. Do you still have, that's the thing. You still have survivors of this massacre. It's not an incident, it's a massacre. Um, it was murder, right? I hate the play on words. I just can't do it. I can't do it. And so you'll hear of it as the USS Liberty incident. All the time you'll hear these words. It's a massacre, and justice was never served. So yeah, shout out to it's the best I could do right now. Phil Torney and all those survivors, right? The sailors, Marines, and civilians that lost their lives on that fateful day. We honor you as best as we can here at Ironwork 92,000, right? Um, all these sailors that continue to serve now know that your sacrifice wasn't in vain. You didn't expect what happened, a lot of you guys. We understand. And we not only honor your sacrifice, but I don't know how else we can do it, but we have your back. I have your back. We all we want is the truth. All we want is the truth and this country to do right by us, and it's civilians, right? But definitely it's sailors, it's airmen, it's Marines, right? The guys doing the stuff that they don't want to do. Um, it's so easy to make certain decisions when it's not you or your loved one that has to suffer. So for whatever reason that those men had to suffer June 8th, 1967, for whatever that reason was, it better be I don't even, is there a good reason? Is there ever a good reason to sacrifice men like that and just lie on their name and then to continue a toxic, I feel, one-sided, lopsided relationship with Israel like that, is it ever worth it? Is there ever a good reason to do that to men that all they want to do is the best by their country, right? They leave, they leave their families to go on these dang expeditions on behalf of this nation, and then all you could do is give them a free funeral, probably a burial at sea or something, depending on the severity of the casualty that took place. A free flag, a gold star in a window for their widows and their family members. That's the best you can do. I don't know. I get really salty uh, in things like this, and I don't think of it as, well, it wasn't me. That's easy. That's easy to think like that. Instead, I think, what if that was me? Or what if that was my brother? Or what if that was my barber or my best friend that decided they wanted to go and serve this country? All for a noble cause. You're not going out there to steal from anybody or harm anyone. You're going out there to listen. All for a noble cause. So, um, highly recommended. Keep your eyes open, guys. Phil Torney and them might be putting something out today. I hope he does. Phil Torney, wherever you're at, if you hear this, hey man, give me a shout. I would love to speak with you, sir. Currently, his son serves as a U.S. Navy SEAL. He serves in the Navy doing his thing, right? Running and gunning. And shout out to him. Of course, the SEALs were wrapped up in a scandal that included racism lately. So, but we're not talking about that right now. I had to bring it up though. Had to. Still, I want to honor those fallen comrades of ours. Your sacrifice wasn't in vain. Know that. Know your sacrifice wasn't in vain. Um, we want justice for you guys. We want justice for your family because ultimately, guys, I think it's important to continue to speak on this story and stories like this because history is so important. Understanding the history of the foul shit that people have done to our nation, uh, to include our own government, right? To its own people, poor people, especially. Doing this to poor folks every time. The poor man gets the bad end of the stick every fucking time. And these rich people at the top, they continue to piss on us. And that it doesn't make military personnel, you're not exclusive. If anything, you're the first ones that they're going to rap on. So if you're a broke person, especially a broke person that's been in the military, shout out to you guys. You know who you are. I salute you. But I can't say enough how important it is for us to continue to honor these men and their sacrifice, and speak on their behalf. Just speak about it. Talk about it. It needs to be said. This thing that happened to them, this murder that occurred, that took place, that happened to them, it needs to continue to be talked about. Uh, there's so much injustice that's been done to people, and it's never been fixed. It's never been fixed. I don't know how many of you guys like having broke shit in your house. I don't, right? If a doorknob is broken, I like it fixed, so I fix it. I think this is something similar. This is just one of those things that have never been repaired, right? And rightfully so. People have written about it. People have cussed the government, and people are ashamed. They feel shame of serving this country. I understand. I've never been in your. I haven't been in those shoes. But if you had to serve on that ship and you had to suffer that that massacre, like I get it. I get it. I hear you. Well, family, I don't want to be talking in circles. Really, that's what I wanted to bring out. If you guys don't know, I'm sure if you hit up USS Liberty on here, I'm sorry, I'm on the road, I'm driving, so I can't be, posting links up and everything else like that. But this was like a quick wham bam, and I wanted to put this together, and it wasn't that well thought out, but I just wanted to basically pour out my heart for these fine men that committed their life for this country that we live in. This country, whether good or bad, we got to take it for what it is, warts and all, right? We gotta take this country for what it is, and we gotta make do with what we got. Um, we could talk bad about how this country's mistreated everybody and mistreated us. I definitely can, and I could talk till I'm blue in the face. But the truth is, I'm still here. You're still here, especially if you're an American, and our families are still here. And so we got to take care of this place, right? And we got to take care of our own. Um, really, that's what it boils down to. Because these people, this top brass, they really don't like us. They really don't like us. They do all that shit with the waving the flag and all that. They don't give a fuck about us. They really don't. So they, I'm not even going to name no names. You know who they are. You know who they are. They're the usual fucking suspects. And so, look, we got to take care of ourselves, man. We can't look to these people to take care of us. Um, we can't let them sit there and pass judgment on us because they have no fucking idea. They have no fucking idea. A flood hits, they always out the way. Earthquake hits, they're never in the fucking way. Somebody gets messed up, they're never fucking there. They're just there to prey on people, probably prey on your kids, and do all kinds of nefarious shit to you. I'm not trying to turn this into a into a govy bashing things, but we know what it is, man. We know those usual suspects, and they're all fucked up. They still haven't fucking repaired these people that have, and I don't think you can ever properly repair them or repay them. But they deserve their day in court, and you need somebody like Judge Judy to be the judge, not these motherfuckers at the top, because they're gonna fucking call it the way they get paid to call it. Fuck them. They're so dirty and they're so goddamn crooked, man. They are so fucking crooked. I I honestly believe that even those people at the top, that Supreme Court, they're useless. They're getting paid just as much as those fucking politicians are. If this thing was proper, they would have taken care of those sailors, marines, and civilians that died and lost their lives. But this place is so imbalanced and fucked up that that's not going to happen. Not through them. Not through them. We're the only ones that can take care of shit like that. And so we definitely need to take care of ourselves because those motherfuckers ain't going to do it. Anyway, I'm not calling for sedition, family. But again, take care of yourselves. Take care of our sailors, marines, and even our soldiers and airmen and space cadets, Space Force people, right? Shout out to everybody in the armed forces that continue to put your nuts out on the line for doing shit, whether we agree with it or not. Hell, you just want to fucking make a check. I get it, man. You want to make that money, go get your free college, all that stuff. But try to bring your ass home safe, man. Don't get caught up. Don't get caught up, please. Bring your ass home safe, sound. You did your time. Get out. Do your time. Get out, man. And love on your family, love on your neighbors, get a haircut, all that stuff. Anyway, family, that's all I got. I don't want to be sitting there rumbling all day uh, or rambling, but I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Usually I come in and I greet everybody. I couldn't do it now, but I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And again, please honor these men. Talk on their behalf. Learn about this story. Learn about this massacre that occurred, right? And talk on their behalf. The more people that hear about it, somebody with the right connections could probably do something about it. You'd be surprised how many sailors have never heard or don't know of the USS Liberty massacre. It's crazy. It blows your mind. And another thing that's even sadder, you would be surprised how many sailors don't give a fuck about the USS Liberty massacre. Um, but it is what it is, man. But the more you talk about it, the more we talk about it, it needs to be spoken about. Maybe you can't do anything, like, maybe you don't have power in any judicial, maybe you don't. right? I'm not saying that you do, but our voice is our power. So speak about it, talk about it, um, bring it up, show people videos, um, together we could do this and make things happen. What we can make happen, I don't know, but let's work together and let's get these guys some justice. Anyway, family, that's all I got. I'm gonna let y'all ride out. I hope you guys enjoy your Sunday. It's a beautiful day. Go out, um, and if you see a sailor, thank them for their sacrifice, because you never know. You just never know what these motherfuckers at the top got in store for somebody. But family, I'm gonna let y'all ride, man. I wish you guys nothing but the best: health, wealth, love, joy, prosperity. Most of all, wisdom, 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 family. I wish you guys luck. Enjoy your Sunday, and I'll catch you on Tuesday. I love you. I'm out. Peace.
Yes, we're moving on up to